Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what I want to do is I want to show you the wonderful 6100 series Simonton that we offer that I really think, based on what we've just discussed, is really going to be the best window that fits your needs as far as window efficiency, easy cleaning that you were talking about. So what I want to do is I want to show you, for instance, we know that it is almost 100 degrees outside. Well, I'm going to take this gun and I'm going to shoot this window, and oh my God, as you can see based on the previous demonstrations that I gave you just a few minutes ago, this Simonton 61 series totally made how many? A 45-degree difference between what we were feeling and what the Simonton window offers. But what I also want to do for you is kind of give you a basics of how this window works. In the fact that you have 7/8 inch glass separation here that has argon gas in it, and argon gas is 3 times denser than air, so it doesn't allow, kind of like, we put the insulation between, it doesn't allow the infiltration of the UV rays and the heat leaving and cooling, going back and through. So that eliminates what we're seeing in the degree difference. But structurally as well, all 4 corners at the same time are fusion welded. What means that to you is its strength. And with the winds in Oklahoma and the weather and the earthquakes, you want something that is going to stay there. And the glass and the way that it's stabilized as well, you're not going to have any issues with this. Once we put all of the actual window together, the biggest part of a window that you lose energy is the upper, the lower, and the middle. Makes sense, because this is where the glass adjoins and all of that, which in the older windows are harder to make that seal. But because this window has the overlapping caulking that goes within this, it allows it to seal completely. Not to mention, because of the windows that we're putting in your home are over 24 inches, we're going to be installing 2 cam blocks. That also helps not only with security, but just making sure that there is no tilting of the window or any of that. That is guaranteed within the functionality of how this window works. I'm so very sorry, I should have turned that off. Back to where we were at. So as I was discussing here, as far as being able to open it up, keeping the window stable, not to mention the security. The really great benefit for you, Mrs. Jones, that we were talking about is your easy cleaning. You don't want to go out in a 100-degree day and say, okay, this really needs to be clean, can't handle it anymore. Watch this. You take these 2 levers that are flush mount within it. So if you can tell, you can't even see that that's there. But if you can see right here, here is where it is. Locks in, comes out. Now look, you can easily tilt the window and clean it in and out. Now that also includes, we're obviously on a 1-story here. Once we go upstairs and put them upstairs, oh my God, what a great thing for you to be able to do. Now look, very easy. You push it back into space, which brings up the other feature that I want to demonstrate to you. This has a coil anti-lock suspension within it that makes sure that when you open the window, you see I'm using 1 finger. 1. I'm not doing this to try to get it open. Not to mention, we like our cool breezes. When we get it, we like to air out our houses, and it stops without having to fall out or anything along those lines. Now, in the Oklahoma weather, I highly recommend that with all of the bugs and fun things we have flying around in the air, no matter what time of the year it is, I highly recommend on this size window, we definitely put a full screen in. if I don't put a full screen in, when you're unlocking it and doing what you're wanting to, or being able to open this all up, I just think you're going to be more pleased. Not to mention, aesthetically, looking it out, you know, a screen is going to make some difference within the way you can see in or out, okay? And so it's going to show a difference in a hue of the window itself. So we can get to that part later, but I just wanted to address that. So, Mrs. Jones, we've addressed the functionality of the window, as well as Mr. Jones, you were really worried about the structural as well as the energy efficiency. I already gave you 40 degrees. We could actually do more. We've got some sun even going directly on this. But you can see the benefit of, if you can imagine a room like this where we're looking at, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4 windows in this room with your high voltage ceilings. I wouldn't go with anything less than the 6100. I would really tell you that if this was my home, I would probably consider going a little bit higher. The cost per month for you as an investment is going to be minimal. And you think about it, if I spend another $4 more a month, I'm going to recoup that money in how long? That's how you always want to look what you were making an investment in that aspect in a lot of ways. But we'll look at the pricing once we get through this and let you guys make your educated decision for yourself. I'm here to educate you and help you with your questions and such. But I just thought it was beneficial for me to show you how this works in relation to what your needs were. But I want to bring up one final fun thing. We all know that at the bottom of a window, you have all this stuff that gets in the lower track here. Well, if you come over here and look, the way that this is built, do you see how it has a double lip here that obviously goes a downward position? Why does it go down? So water doesn't get in there, snow. It allows it to melt so that, you know, how many times have you seen on your windowsill where you've got water damage or moisture that you can see that's come through there? That eliminates that, especially with these weep holes that are here, that it allows it to go ahead and naturally drain out versus accumulating all of that, because nothing's worse than going through and cleaning this lovely window, and when you look it up, you have all this gunk that's here. And I could go look at those whatever theirs and I could bust you on it. But we won't do that, because with this new lovely Simonton window, I can guarantee you you're going to be satisfied this for years to come. And do you see any problem with that? Do you see the benefit and how it would help you all the way around with what you're wanting to accomplish? Great. All right. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk a little bit about financing and look at the differences between the windows that I have available based on what you've told me that you're looking for, and narrow it down to the right price, allowing you the opportunity that we've already measured everything. So I have a basis of what we're looking at. And if we need to do this in a stage aspect, that we say, okay, Holly, I want to do 4 windows every 3 months because I get my bonuses, whatever the case may be. We are not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere in this house. So let's make sure we make the right decision individually for you. Okay? All right, great. Let's go. Bye.